Hey, what's up guys? Dean here. Today I want to talk about my Victory Judge 2013 model here. I want to talk about the wind protection options for a Victory, which if you own a Victory Judge, you've probably already learned that the wind protection options for this bike are pretty much none. But as you can see, I got, full fairing on there with some fork deflectors there. Getting to the point here, this is the Memphis shades fairing up here up top. It is not technically supposed to fit on this bike according to Memphis shades themselves. This fairing is actually built for the Victory Vegas, and sorry if there's some wind noise, there's plenty of wind going on out here today. This Batwing fairing is for the Victory Vegas, as well as the mounting hardware, for these fork deflectors I have down on the bottom. Those are not the Memphis shades fork deflectors. Those are a Dean Hansen custom there. I bought some plexiglass, some Lexan 3/8 inch thick, shaped them to that shape, and hooked them up with the Memphis shades lower mounting gear, which does fit on the Vegas with a little bit of modification. If we look down here, this would actually hit into here if you didn't have it out a little ways. So I had to do a little bit of modification. I also had to buy a bolt that went flush underneath there. You can see that brake line there is, I had to buy a new bolt for mounting that so it would mount flush to be out of the way. So a little bit of work, but you are able to get the fork deflectors built for a Victory Vegas from Memphis Shades to fit on the Judge. They didn't make this Judge for very long, so there's not a lot of options for it. So if we look here at the front, let's just roll on in here. The mounting gear in here just has to bend in a little bit to fit. It's not significant. I was just gonna say, luckily the Batwing fairing there has a little bit of flex, and you can mount it on and off the bike without much issue. This is kind of what it looks like mounted. We got a lot of background light there, but I think it looks pretty good. So with this particular setup here, we have the pretty much all the bells and whistles you can get from from Memphis Shades for the Batwing fairing. We got the side fairings here. We have the taller windshield. I think this is the 9-inch spoiler version. And the reason we went all out on here was not necessarily that we're trying to get away from the wind as much as we were trying to get away from the wind buffeting. So originally I had this windshield on here. Hey, there's me. Originally we had this guy on, and we were getting a ton of wind buffeting, helmet buffeting. It was a problem. So, we went through the process of getting these lower fork deflectors on, and they seem to help a little bit, and the Batwing fairing seems to help a little bit. But ultimately, my fix for helmet buffeting, going back and forth with a ton of different ideas, and obviously had as much wind protection on this bike as you could possibly get, really. What ultimately fixed my helmet buffeting was changing out my full face for a half helmet. I don't love that idea. Half helmets aren't quite as safe, in my opinion. But I feel safer with the half helmet on with no wind buffeting than I do with the full helmet with wind buffeting. So the wind buffeting is a problem. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video that kind of showed that you can hook up a lot of the Memphis Shades gear you buy for the Victory Vegas will fit on the Victory Judge with a little bit of modification. And as far as that Batwing fairing, all I had to do is stretch it out a little bit. Just kind of, when you're mounting it, you just kind of pull it apart a little bit and slides right on. So, yep, that's all there is to it. All right, have a good one.